and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help it. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for a free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Peace talks between the leaders of Russia and Ukraine could be in the works. A Ukrainian negotiator says draft peace treaty documents could set the stage for direct talks between Russian President Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky. There are reports the two leaders can meet in Turkey to discuss an end to the war. Two people are in custody for a three-car collision that led to a highway shooting in Washington State in what authorities say they believe to be a road rage incident. Washington State Patrol Trooper Richard Allen.
It's something that we're facing more and more now, and all we can do is encourage everyone to please drive safe, drive respectfully, and if somebody cuts you off, maybe it's best to let them go, because these are road rage type incidents are moving up and up and up, and we'd really like to get these under control.
Gas prices are dropping again. AAA says the nationwide average for a gallon of regular is $4.20, down from last week's average of $4.24. California still has the highest average, with a gallon costing $5.86. This is USA Radio News.
You've heard me talking for over 3 years about MyPillow and the great products they have. There's some great specials right now when you go to mypillow.com/radio specials. You can find Giza Dream Sheets as low as $39.99. 6-piece MyPillow towel sets, deeply discounted, $39.95. And of course, half price My Slippers, which make my feet feel wonderful. All sorts of great products, including the MyPillow.
The Federal Election Commission has fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign $8,000 and the Democratic National Committee $105,000 for obscuring their funding of the Steele dossier, a 2016 opposition research report that sought to highlight alleged links between Donald Trump and Russia that caused a firestorm of allegations and investigations that shook the early months of Trump's presidency. The Rappahannock tribe, a native tribe in Virginia, has reacquired 465 acres of sacred land at Fones Cliff. The area, located inside the Rappahannock River Valley National Wildlife Refuge, will be publicly accessible and placed.
Do you have information on Scary Creek? Or
I don't have it yet. No.
The tribe plans to educate the
you get it on that?
I'm gonna, yeah.
By constructing a replica 16th century village.
Do it during the last segment.
Their
That's
return
fine.
to the river program, which trains tribal youth in
Last few
traditional
minutes or
river
so.
knowledge and practices. The matchup is set for the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. 8th seed North Carolina will face off against the top seed Kansas Jayhawks in tomorrow night's championship game
No
in
Duke.
New Orleans. The Tar Heels booked their first trip to the
Duke
national
lost.
title game since 2017
They did?
by defeating Duke in the last game of head coach Mike Krzyzewski's career last night, 81-77, while Kansas easily beat Villanova 81-65 in the other game of the Final Four. Later tonight, the women's NCAA basketball championship will be decided when top seed South Carolina faces second seed UConn. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Russell.
Find 305. Enter. Oh, man. There
The
you go.
opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleborough and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleborough Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleborough news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning and welcome to Middleborough in Review. It is April 3rd, 2022. A cold Sunday morning today, and yeah, very cold Sunday morning. I'm going to say good morning to Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
How are you this morning?
You got a snazzy shirt on there for all the Facebook watchers, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
All right, let's get to the weather.
You look snazzy and sharp.
Let's get to the weather. 28 degrees. 28 degrees. 54 for the high today. Rain in the forecast, but I don't think it will rain today. It just seems like today is going to be no rain in the forecast. It just seems like one of those days. Tomorrow, Monday, 56 degrees with a low of 33, mostly sunny in Middleborough. Taunton, 28 degrees, 56 for the high. Tomorrow, 56 for the high as well in Taunton. Driscoll, North Dakota, 41 degrees today, 29 currently, with a low of 27. 54 tomorrow, mostly sunny in Driscoll, North Dakota. Driscoll, Texas, 67 degrees currently, 86 for the high today. Nice sunny skies. Tomorrow, 88 in Driscoll, Texas. And that is the weather for today. And that is a check on the weather, as we always do during the show. Beginning of the show, sometimes we do it in the middle, but we always do it during the show. Except for that, I think, one time that we didn't. So, it is April 3rd, so that means yesterday there was an election in Middleborough. And I have in front of me the unofficial results of the election. And we're going to go over it right now. Number of eligible voters in this election, 19,101. Total votes cast, 1,359, for a 7.1 percentage of the voters to vote in yesterday's election. In the Board of Selectmen, you could vote for 2. The top vote getters, Arthur Battistini with 1025, and Brian Genovi, well, I'm saying that correctly, 948 total votes for Board of Selectmen. Gas and Electric Commissioners for 3 years. Total votes. You could vote for 2. You could vote for 2 in this one. Gas and Electric Commissioner. Daniel E. Farley, 872, and Thomas E. Murphy, 841. School Committee for 3 years. Vote for 2. Richard Peter Oakley, Jr., with the most votes, 762. And Marcy Ann Freigalt with 635. Board of Assessors, vote for 1. The top vote getter, Barbara J. Erickson, 1,008. Board of Assessors for unexpired term of 2023. 990 votes for Paula M. Burdick. Finance Committee for 3 years. Vote for 3 members. The top 2 vote getters, Glenn F. Montepert, 882. I don't know why he's on the top, because Robert M. Sullivan has 896, and it's showing him second. I'm not sure.
You said these are unofficial?
Unofficial, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
These are unofficial.
Maybe that's being counted still?
Maybe that's still being counted. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Glenn F. Montepert, 882, and Robert M. Sullivan, 896. It says Robert M. Sullivan is second place here, but that is unofficial results, like I said at the beginning there. Finance Committee, unexpired term, 2024, John Anthony Barella III, 950 votes. Finance Committee for an unexpired term, 2023. Write-ins, 145. 1,359 total votes in that one. A lot of blanks in that one. 1,214. Planning Board for 5 years. Vote for 1, Tracy L. Craig McGee, 696. Park Commissioners for 3 years, William J. Ferdinand, 998. And that is your election results for yesterday's election. And I apologize if I got a few of the names wrong. I think I might have got one of the names wrong, and I do apologize to that individual. But that is your election results.
So you said there's 19 and change in the voting rolls for Middleborough, right?
Yes, 19,000.
And how many people came out? About 1,300?
1,359.
Wow. Such a small majority of people dictate what goes on in the government because not many people vote.
Yeah.
That's funny. Such a small majority. That's wow. Didn't even break 2,000. Didn't even break 1,500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Moving on to the next topic. If you want to call in and you have, any questions or any comments about yesterday's election, give us a call. 508-822-1106.
I'm sure it went smooth because it always does when we go to Oak Point. They're really good over there.
Mm-hmm.
All the volunteers, which they don't get enough recognition. They don't get recognized too much, I think, sometimes because they volunteer their day and they don't get paid, and to help people get through the polls and help people along. So I'm thanking all the poll members who helped out yesterday, took their Saturday to make sure the vote went smooth.
I want to remind everybody that the 3-month registration period for dog licenses has passed. The registration period was from January 1st to the 31st of March. Any dog licenses that are licensed April 1st to the 30th, so anytime this month, will be assessed a late fee of $10 per dog. Dog licenses not renewed by May 1st are subject to a $50 fine. Late fees and citation fees are in addition to dog license fees. And new dogs may still be licensed at any time without incurring a late fee. Documentation that you will need: a certificate of current rabies vaccination, certificate of spraying and neutering, and dog license payment made payable to Town of Middleborough, including self-addressed stamped envelope. And you can go to the town clerk's office. They are open Monday through Friday, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. And someone will help you there. There are a lot of great people who work at the town annex building, and they will help you with the dog licenses.
They were all helpful. We went to pay the excise tax a couple weeks ago, and they were real nice. I called them, told us what we owed. They were real nice about it. They were quick about it. Joey went with a check, and they paid, and he paid the excise tax, and it was a good experience. The people up there, they're all nice people, and they always work very hard, and they're very polite, and they're always smiling. No one likes to smile anymore, and those folks like to smile, so that's good.
All right. It is 7:18. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back, and we'll have a little talk about blood drives, and we'll talk about the food pantry a little bit as well. It is April. It is spring. Spring's in full bloom now, even though it doesn't feel like it is. But spring, it's here.
I hope you didn't put the ice scraper away because you might need
it
if you head out early.
It was a little frosty this morning.
Yeah.
It was a little frosty this morning, but I think we're getting close to that pattern breaking, and some nice weather
Well, it's
coming.
early April. We still got a couple loop-de-doos in April. If you think about it.
Well, we will see.
Yeah.
We will see about that.
Well, I'm not talking snowstorm. I'm talking you still got to have a little cold weather. You got to have frost on the pumpkin. If there's any pumpkins left.
Tomorrow's supposed to be very nice. So that's tomorrow off to a good start for the week. So hopefully that stays that way during this week. Hopefully the weather does not. And hopefully we don't get more of what we have outside currently. But
I was reading up on the other day on Friday about the 1997 April Fool's snowstorm we had in 1997.
Yeah.
So I mean we got dumped on. I think we got like 20 inches or something. It was nuts. It all melted within a week, but
Yeah.
it was a mess.
and I seem to remember 2012 not being that bad of a winter. I think we had one snowstorm.
That was that real warm winter. Yes.
Yes, so we had one snowstorm, and it
2011,
wasn't bad
yeah,
here,
Yeah.
but it was really bad in New York. I remember that.
Yeah. The weather's got to be the weather, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Joey, you got some exciting news because 4 years in a row, Williams Trade Post has signed up with Middleborough and Review to do advertising for their business.
Yep, and you'll hear that commercial. It is in my second part of commercials. Tempted to play it during this break, but I think I'll stick to the log here. So you'll hear it later.
Oh
on.
yeah, you better stick to the log. You'll be in trouble.
I'm tempted to play it now, but
you'll be in hot water.
I will play it
Right to the letter,
when
buddy.
it's supposed to be played during the second commercial break.
Right.
So you just have to wait a little bit
The
longer
log,
to hear
right.
it.
You gotta listen to the log, mister. Okay? But no, we want to thank Martha and all the crew over at Williams Trading Post, especially Martha.
Yeah.
She believed in you because you went to her I think you had that before you even went on the air, and you're having your 3rd anniversary show next week.
Yes.
So you went to her, and she believed in you. A show. I don't even think the show started. I don't even think you had. I think we started the show with that one spot, and now we're talking, four seasons. This is a 4th season she's signed up, so that's pretty good. She must, like the commercials. Maybe she got some work from it. It's a great institution for the town of Middleborough. It's been 79 years. Is it that long, or 70?
72.
Oh, 72.
72.
Oh, sorry. Glad I got you with the math over there. But
Yeah,
that's
72.
Still, that's a long time to be a fixture in Middleborough. And like I said, we talked to some people who were in here in the studio, and they says, "Oh yeah."
Actually, I think it's 73. Actually, I think it's 70. Last year was
I
72.
think you said 49, right?
Yeah, 1949. So yeah, 73, 49. Yep.
Yeah.
So they're entering their 73rd year.
Yeah, season.
They opened on the first Friday.
Okay.
So they have started their 73rd year in business.
Wow.
Yep.
And like I said, we had the Middle Street Bond Band, and that was May of 19. They were in, and there was 3 guys in there. They brought 3 guys, and 2 of them like, yeah, we've been getting our Christmas tree at Williams Trading Post since I can remember. So I was a kid. It was like because when they heard you play the ad, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, I know that place. We got a Christmas tree. So I mean, it's ingrained in people's memories and their conscience and the psyche of this is the place to be. So I mean, that's important to have a business like that in the community.
Yes.
And have a lasting business, which is can
absolutely
stand the test of time per se, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's take a commercial break.
I had to say it. You
you're
have
right.
to acknowledge it.
You're right. Yes, exactly.
I'm
So
tickled pink that she picked you up again.
all right, 7:23 a.m. and we'll be right back after these commercial breaks here on Middleborough Review on WVBA 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. Come on. Okay.
Well, I gotta do the Scary Creek though, right?
What?
You are gonna mention that a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, let me try to get that up here.
Yeah.
1987.
April 5th.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association
Dad.
of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter,
I just have
and
to do
guidance,
it this way.
or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living
Bridge
abroad.
collapse.
Many members continue to serve in our armed forces. with
New York
civil
Thruway
serving
Bridge
combat
collapse. There we
areas
go.
now.
That's
We
it.
sponsor and
That's the
or
thing.
participate in many motorcycle-related charity events
Right.
each year.
Good.
And as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
3-6.
Hi, this is Martha Klupin, your host for Medicare Moment with Martha. Each week, we present the latest information on health, legal, and lifestyle issues that affect you and your family. It's fascinating,
Alright,
fast-paced, and
I got it up. The
as we explore all
Skoheri
aspects of the Medicare
Skoheri Creek.
Yep.
Skoheri.
Fort
Okay.
Hunter, New York. Yep.
Good. Okay.
Saturday mornings at 8.
I think it's part of Amsterdam, New York, but I'm not sure. It's Fort Hunter.
It's Fort Hunter.
Yep.
Yeah. It
WBBF,
says.
your hometown radio station.
Spark Street Auto Body
Oh,
located at
you have
48
Michelle?
Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the
From
highest
the
quality
haircutting?
collision repair and complete
Michelle,
auto
who
service
cuts
for
our
your
hair.
car.
Her number?
Not our number, but her. She says we doesn't have a show on Facebook. Can you ding her somehow?
I have her. I think I have her on Facebook. Yeah.
You want to ding her?
Monday through Thursday,
Yeah.
8 to 5.
You know, send like a thing. She says that she,
Fridays.
well, she said she used to listen, but she's
Yeah.
Be disappointed.
it's not up. She can't find it now.
Got it. Yeah.
1495.
Okay. 223.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WBBF, The Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleborough, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
And we're back here on Middleborough in review. It is April the 3rd, 2022. And this Tuesday marks 35 years since the Schoharie Creek Bridge collapse in Fort Hunter, New York. It was a major bridge collapse at the Schoharie Creek that took the lives of 10 people. It was due to bridge design and inspection procedures, failed bridge design and inspection procedures that caused the collapse and the deaths of 10 people. Don, your thoughts on this disaster?
Yeah, they had heavy rain prior to that, and upstate New York at that, it's chilly out. It's still technically winter in a way, weather-wise. A lot of melted snow, and that was bridge was built, I believe, in the 60s, late 50s, for the extension from Albany up to Buffalo, that stretch of the thruway, New York State thruway. And yeah, like you mentioned, 10 people died, they perished. It was a tractor trailer and then 3 other vehicles, so a total of 10. And it's kind of eerie because in 1987, my aunt was up visiting my other aunt. She lived up in Rochester, and she had a health scare. And we lived with my aunt Rita Quincy, and my aunt Eleanor, Aunt Picky we called her, but Aunt Eleanor. So my father, my brother, myself, my sister, and my brother's girlfriend took my brother's girlfriend's car, and we went to see her, like unexpected. You know, I think Rita had a stroke or something. And when we got to that point, and it was in May, I think it was early May we went. So there was a detour off of the thruway that went down the hill, and then it went over the older bridge that was built like in the 20s or whatever. It was for vehicles only. It was for cars because of the weight limit. But I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that up, sort of up close. I remember when I went over the bridge, I'm looking over to the left, and I was like, oh, what's this? They made a temporary ramp off the highway down like a little valley, like a one-way ramp, and then they sent all traffic over the older bridge that was down on whatever bridge was down there in the village. And I remember looking over and seeing nothing over there, seeing just a big gaping hole. And that was 3 weeks after. So I think about that because I've been over the bridge after that before, after they rebuilt it. They rebuilt it pretty quick, I think. But I do think about that, and just like for this country that has so many bridges and overpasses, and if you go back and look at history, you're only looking at a handful of bridges that might have collapsed. And that's pretty amazing considering the amount of bridges and tunnels and everything we have, all the infrastructure we have. So that was a little creepy, seeing that like 3 weeks and kind of witnessing history in a way. And you don't know. I mean, people are driving, living their lives, and it would happen on Sunday morning. There's a lot on YouTube about it if you want to see any kind of footage. And one day in May, it's like a news program for the 30th anniversary. I think it was an Albany news channel. I found it on YouTube, which was done really well. Talked about the human element of it. People, like a family was waiting for a couple family members for a baby shower, and they never made it. They really talked about that. They talked about the state trooper who showed up and the fire chief for Fort Hunter, and they've interviewed all these people. It's pretty good. But just go on YouTube and you can find more if you're interested. But people need to be remembered as far as that, because they were just living their lives, and boom, in an instant, they're swept down the river. And in one instant, they got all the bodies back, but it was like a few months later, the last body was retrieved in New Baltimore, New York. And if anyone knows the geography in New York, that means that body went all the way down the Barge Canal, which is, the New Erie Canal, went through all those locks, went through the Flight of 5 locks, went down the Hudson River through Troy, Albany, and down New Baltimore. It's just a little south of Castleton on the Hudson, where the I-90 bridge goes over. Okay, that was like 60 miles. So that's unbelievable, that body. But they recovered them all. Took them a while. But I just think people need to remember. It's glad you decided to research this, Joe.
Thank you.
This is just from memory, though, what I saw.
All right, moving on to the Middleborough athletics. We're going to do a little bit of local sports today. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I will go over really quick some of the national stuff. I'm not too happy. I will say that about
You happy? Not happy?
I am not too happy about the result of yesterday's March Madness basketball game. Not too happy, but I will talk about that in a second when I come to it. Boys baseball. It's starting up. It's already underway, actually. April 5th, Tuesday, the baseball team will take on Somerset Berkeley Regional. And I believe it's going to be at home. So it will be at home. That'll be a home game. They've already had 2 games this season. I believe both of those are scrimmage games. One of the scrimmages resulted in a loss to Duxbury, 7-3. And the other one was against Apponequet. There's no final on that one. That was on the 31st. And the Duxbury scrimmage was on the 30th. So I'm not sure what the final score of the Apponequet scrimmage was. But if anyone was there at the Apponequet Middleborough scrimmage baseball game, give us a call, 508-822-1106. Tell us your experience in the game, watching the game, and tell us the final score of the game. But Somerset Berkeley Regional versus Middleborough will take place on Tuesday for baseball. Baseball. Also coming up is tennis. There is tennis coming up. Boys varsity tennis is underway. April 4th, tomorrow, actually, April 4th, Plymouth South versus Middleborough. And that will take place in Plymouth. It will take place away. That will be an away game in Plymouth. So Plymouth South is the next game. And then they'll have a home game the day after against Rockland. So back-to-back days, back-to-back games for boys tennis. And girls tennis takes place at the same days, just switched when it comes to where they play. April 4th, Plymouth South. They'll take on Plymouth South. Girls tennis will take on Plymouth South, and they will be at home. April 5th, they'll take on Rockland, and they will be away. They will be at Rockland. So that's the switch there. Okay, March Madness. I mentioned that I was not too happy with how it went down yesterday and who's in the final for the men's side. The women's side, I'm pretty happy about. I'm pretty happy that Connecticut's back in. I like that Connecticut's back in. I think Connecticut has a good shot at winning. They are 11-0. They showed a stat during the Final Four game, the Connecticut Final Four game, where in championship games, Connecticut is undefeated, 11-0. They are undefeated. Connecticut will take on South Carolina in their 12th championship game as a team. And that will take place tonight, 8 p.m. Also tonight at 8 p.m., night 2 of WrestleMania. WrestleMania is also this weekend. So that's taking place as well. Next weekend is the Masters Golf Tournament. Also next weekend, which we'll get to as well, is after our sports segment, is the Heron Run Festival. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But finishing up sports, Connecticut versus South Carolina in the women's final. And in the men's final, there will be their championship game tomorrow night at 9:20 p.m. number 8 seeded North Carolina will take on number 1 Kansas. I think number 1 Kansas will defeat North Carolina. I want them to defeat North Carolina. I do not want to see North Carolina win. North Carolina did knock out Duke last night. Not too happy about that. I think a lot of Duke fans are not happy that they have been knocked out, but they did give it a valiant try, for sure. Duke gave it a valiant try in this tournament. Made it to the Final Four. Almost made it to the championship game. Those final few minutes, though, the Tar Heels were the better team. But now I think everyone wants to see Kansas defeat the Tar Heels and kind of avenge the loss for Duke. So, yeah, that's what's going on with March Madness. Don, thoughts?
I got no thoughts.
Duke is not in the final. During Coach K's last year.
Who are you talking to about Duke? Somebody here you were talking about Duke.
Paul Lazarovich.
All right.
I was saying.
What did he say?
Because Coach K, as many people who are Duke fans, who possibly are Duke fans, would know this is Coach K's last year, and unfortunately he wasn't able to make it to the final. I think a lot of people coming into the year were thinking that they could, and that they would make the final. They almost did. But they fought a valiant team in the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels are very good, and they played the better game, and they deserve to be in the final. But they also deserve to get beat. They also deserve to get beat by Kansas, and I hope they do.
Because they beat Duke?
Because they beat Duke. Yes. Duke was my pick. Duke was my pick.
You're not holding the grudge.
Duke was my pick coming out of the Final Four.
I think it was a lot of people's pick, just by all the buzz going around.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Coach K's final year,
Right.
And Purdue ultimately was my pick to win the tournament, but they didn't. Unfortunately, they lost in the I believe it was Sweet 16 that they lost. Purdue was my pick, until they lost, and then it flipped to Duke. I really wanted to see Duke do it. I really wanted to see Duke win the championship one last time for their coach, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
Unfortunately. All right, 7:41. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Middleborough Review, 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
When we get back on, I want to just read out the suspension, the team suspension from last week.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to give people some alter around it as best I can.
Yeah, I want to see Kansas get beat.
Huh?
I want to see Kansas get beat.
Right.
I want North Carolina. I want to see North Carolina get beat. Sorry. I want Kansas to avenge that loss. That Duke loss. So bad right now. Not a fan of North Carolina.
I'm blah, blah, blah when it comes to that. I know nothing about that.
And that's a rivalry those two teams.
I can't wait to hear the Williams Trade Reports ad.
Those two teams, they're rivals. They're like big rivals. Duke and North Carolina. So it hurts. It hurts because the Final Four matchup, two rivals, and a lot of Duke fans are not happy that they lost. I mean, I'm not a Duke fan per se, but I was definitely rooting for Duke to win because I wanted to see them win. I wanted to see them win for one final time for their coach. But that doesn't always happen. I understand that doesn't always happen, and someone else is gonna win.
St. Vincent de
Hopefully it's
Paul
Kansas.
Sacred Heart Church in Middleborough serves the residents of the towns of Middleborough, Lakeville, Carver.
I have no love for North Carolina. No North Carolina Tar Heels basketball. No love for them. I want to see them lose. But anyway.
At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers. And
I didn't talk about Red Sox or anything, or Celtics or anything.
No, I mean,
I'm just like,
well, you know, March Madness is wrapping up.
Yeah.
You did perfect.
It's still the regular season, so
No, but I mean, this is you wrap. You know,
Yeah,
March
it's-
Madness is done, so
it's not the priority.
Yeah, no, I mean I think it's appropriate spending all that time on March Madness because it's wrapped up. I mean, we got one more game tomorrow, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Who's playing tomorrow?
So
Tar Heels and Kansas.
Tar Heels and Kansas, yeah.
You want Kansas to win?
Yes, I hope no North Carolina fans call in and be like, you know, be all rude to me.
Yeah, whatever. Well, make sure you say go Kansas before you sign off. You know what I mean?
Be all rude because I said I want the Jayhawks to beat them.
Well, you wanted Duke to win, and they beat Duke, so
They beat Duke,
yeah.
so I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I'm not too happy.
They're up.
In that women's matchup, I could see either of them winning.
Up the creek.
I could see them winning. I could see either of them winning. I'd see South Carolina or Connecticut winning, but you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter who wins that one, I think.
Williams Trading Post, serving the residents of Middleborough since 1949, is the perfect place to get a gift for a friend or family member.
Do they work now on Sundays?
They sell fruit trees,
I don't know who these people are.
garden supplies, and much more.
They must work on Sundays now.
They don't work on Sunday. Why, have you seen cars there on Sundays?
Wednesday, 10 to 5.
Well, not every Sunday, but
Sunday,
I have
9 to 5.
Oh, yeah?
before. Yes.
Might be the landscaping boys.
No. These are the people who work in one of the buildings here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they work here. Yeah, they work here. I don't know what they're doing, you know, on a Sunday, but whatever. All right. And we're back here on Middleborough in review, and so it's 7:46, and yeah, we did our sports segment just a segment ago, and
A segment ago.
here, and I said, you know, the Kansas Blue Jays or Blue Hawks should win against North Carolina, and I that's one of the things I'm going to be watching closely to see if they do. And the Connecticut matchup with South Carolina, I don't have a favorite. I mean, Connecticut is a good team, and I support Connecticut, but I don't have a favorite in that one. I'm rooting for both. Both of them deserve to be there. South Carolina was good the whole year, so they deserve to be there for sure. And I probably won't watch it tonight because WrestleMania is on and a few other things are on as well. As I mentioned earlier in my sports update, I watched WrestleMania last night. I didn't mention that I watched WrestleMania. I just mentioned that WrestleMania was on last night. I did watch it last night. It was great. Great first night. Stone Cold Steve Austin came back, and he wrestled an actual match, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool. But anyway, Don, you have something important to tell
Yeah, I
us.
guess an update. Oh, by the way, the Williams Trading Post commercial was done excellent. Excellent. Mwah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, it's like a hot dog at Fenway in April, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we had the garage collapse last Saturday, and there was red line. I mean, there was orange and green line disruptions, and as most people know, I think it was Tuesday they opened the Orange Line. But right now, Green Line update. Train service remains suspended between North Station and Government Center due to Government Center garage accident. Customers can use Orange Line for all alternative service. Okay, that's pretty much the official read here. Yeah, you can take the Orange Line. Haymarket Station is closed on the Orange Line also. Okay, no Green Line, like I mentioned, and Orange Line, Haymarket Station is closed, so you're gonna have to get around that. So with the Orange Line up and running, it's gonna be a little more crowded, but I mean, you don't have to deal with the shuttle buses, and it's sort of a short walk too. So I mean, as long as you're able to do it, and the weather's all right, you could just walk from those Government Center to North Station. It should take you about maybe 10 minutes. So if you don't, but you could always take the Orange Line, and yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's probably got a while because they gotta make sure that Green Line tunnel isn't damaged from the collapse. You want to make sure everyone's safe, and I think they're gonna be doing a lot of work there this weekend. So maybe we'll have an answer soon on that.
Okay, it's 7:50, and it is time for our facts, our history of the day, and our birthdays and passings. We have two today in histories. The first one, a very important one in American history, 1865, American Civil War. Union forces capture Richmond, Virginia, the capital of the Confederate States of America. This would signal the end of the war, pretty much just a few weeks afterwards.
Confederate capital captured.
Yep, they captured the capital of the Confederate States of America, and
did they move the capital technically to the? You know who would know that right now without looking it up, without going on line to look it up would be Tony Lopes. You'd say Tony. When Richmond fell, what was the? I'm sure they had a capital prior to. They probably moved it back.
They probably moved it.
They moved it somewhere. It was somewhere. It was it's curious, but Tony would look at it and say, it's this town or it's this city. You just look at it. You wouldn't have to look at his phone. You wouldn't have to look at nothing.
Yeah, and then they had just a few weeks later their surrender at Appomattox.
Right.
Courthouse.
Well, so they probably had technically a capital for the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep because you're talking 2 weeks. They gotta when they knew they were gonna lose Richmond, they probably pulled everything back.
Yeah.
To another location.
All right, our second today in history is 1948, during the Cold War. U.S. President Harry S. Truman signs the Marshall Plan, authorizing $5 billion in aid to 16 countries. And a little bit about the Marshall Plan. Enacted in 1948 to provide foreign aid to Western Europe. The United States transferred over $13 billion, equivalent of about $115 billion today, or in 2020, in economic relief programs to Western European economies at the end of World War II, replacing an earlier proposal, and it operated for 4 years beginning on April the 3rd, 1948. The goals of the United States were to rebuild war-torn regions, remove trade barriers, modernize industry, improve European prosperity, and prevent the spread of communism. The Marshall Plan required a reduction of interstate barriers and the dissolution of many regulations, while also encouraging an increase in productivity, as well as the adoption of modern business procedures. Don, thoughts about the Marshall Plan?
That was the best thing we ever did, because that kept Europe peaceful as far as getting up on their feet and that was very important. Very important. It was the best thing we could have done as a country to help and get them on their feet, because by 1960, I think a lot of those countries were well off. They were on their way.
Yeah.
France. There was a lot of war in France in World War II, but they really didn't lose their infrastructure because they surrendered. And I don't think Germany devastated many of the cities, but Germany got, really bad. Poland, that was under the Iron Curtain at that time in '48, but there was other countries that just got decimated. Denmark was one of them. England lost a lot of their infrastructure, but Germany, mostly Germany really got hit really bad. So it was good to get even the Germans back online. So there's something I was listening to at the USA News at the beginning of the hour, which I'm praying and hoping this works. That there's talk about the Russian president and the Ukrainian president getting together for a peace conference in Turkey. Yep. I'm praying so hard that happens. They need to stop fighting. The war needs to end. No more killing. No more. You don't want to rip apart Ukraine's infrastructure. I'm not sure how much it got hit, but they still technically have power in some areas. The power wasn't wiped out. It's not like, usually you take all the power out, you blow all the bridges up, and I'm not saying that hasn't happened in some parts of the country, but the country's and other than a lot of cities getting bombarded, which is terrible, but maybe some of the infrastructure is still left for the people to rebuild. Yeah. Not a total rebuild. So I just hope cooler heads prevail and they're able to work out a deal and stop the fighting, stop the killing.
Our birthdays for today. The first one we have, 1944. Tony Orlando. Done. I think you know who that is.
Oh, yeah. I can't sing on the air because of our licensing rights here at WVBF, but you know the song he does, right?
Yeah, I do. Yes, he's very, very good singer. And his birthday is today.
That was my
He's 78.
Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree.
Yep.
That's one of his major hits, and I think he has a few more, but that was my stepfather's favorite song. I remember that. It was his favorite song. Just like Song Song Blue was my father's favorite song. So.
1958, Alec Baldwin. American actor, comedian, producer, and television host. Many different movies as well. His family.
Comedian, huh? I don't think so about that.
Well.
But you know what my favorite movie with him was?
What?
The Hunt for Red October. He was excellent in that movie. That was, in my opinion, his best movie.
His entire family has had really good films.
Well, his brother, Stephen Baldwin, was in Backdraft.
Yeah.
And that's another awesome movie.
Yes. Several different good films.
He was in a lot of good films. Yeah. Yes, he's an excellent actor.
This family's been in a lot of good films.
But no, he's been in a couple comedy movies too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you'll definitely agree with this one about comedy, the comedian side. 1961, Eddie Murphy, American actor and comedian.
Oh, he's so awesome. I love him.
An amazing comedian. He best known, I think, with the older audience for Coming to America.
That was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
That was such a nice family movie. 48 Hours, a little gritty, but I think that was his first movie. One of his first movies was 40 with opposite Nick Nolte. Mm-hmm. The Clumps.
And I'm sure he's been in a lot of kids movies as well.
Beverly Hills Cops.
I was thinking. I was going to say he was in Madagascar, but I just remembered that's Chris Rock, I believe.
Right.
It's not Eddie Murphy.
But then Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, 3 of, I think they had 3 of them.
Yeah.
They were a good series of movies, and it's stand up. I liked it, but it's not rated G by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But I'm sure he's been in films for the younger kids. Many comedians probably have been.
Yeah.
So he's a good actor. He really is.
Oh yeah, he's
Eddie Murphy. He's a good
he's
actor.
well respected.
The two Coming to Americas.
I never saw the
huge.
second one. That
huge.
The second one.
I haven't
just came
seen
out.
the second one either, but I heard it was.
My sister's a big fan of that, and she was telling me about it. But the first one is nothing beats the first one. The cast they had, Arsenio Hall.
It was really good, and the second one still has this pretty much the same cast.
James Olmos, he's the father in Good Times.
Yeah,
he was always a great character in Good Times.
I believe he's in that.
Yeah.
You believe he's in the second movie? Yeah.
And then Eddie Murphy played in the original Coming to America. He played 2 parts.
Yeah.
At the barbershop scene. You ever remember the barbershop scene? And Arsenio Hall did the other one.
Yes. And he's in the. I think he's in the remake.
Just talking in the barbershop.
He's also in the remake.
Okay.
And passings for today we have 1. In 2015, we lost Bob Burns, American drummer and songwriter, the original drummer of the legendary Southern rock band Leonard Skinner, passed away 7 years ago today. All right, that will do it for today's program. 8 o'clock, and we'll be back next week. Next week will be our 3-year anniversary program. We will have a guest calling in. Ed Sutka will be calling in.
Yeah, Ed Sutka does. He does the
Musical Odyssey.
Musical Odyssey. You can hear it at 11 o'clock, and he does such a great job narrating and putting the show together.
So he'll be calling in next week.
We had a great interview. We had him on back in January or December. Yes. We had such a great interview, and he said, "I'm a good interviewer." So I was kind of humbled by that coming from that guy, because he's really precise. He's really, he's squared away, like my buddy Bill would say. He's squared away.
All right, we gotta go. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Watching on Facebook and listening on the radio. We'll be back next week, April 10th, 2022, for our 3-year anniversary program. Bye, everybody.
What the heck is this?
I gotta brush up on my movie movie trivia. What is this?
I don't know.
Wordle? What is that?
I don't know. You should post that with another friend of Facebook friend of mine.
I don't even know what that is. I don't want to look at that. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
Wordle?
I don't know. 28856? What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I gotta shape up on my movie trivia. I almost said Eddie Murphy was in Madagascar. He wasn't. It's Chris Rock who was. We'll be back, everybody, next week. Bye-bye.